Meanwhile, part of the sweeping government cuts includes the Justice Department, which just fired 20 immigration judges. This comes as immigration courts deal with a reported backlog of about 4 million cases. I want to bring in CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez. All right, Camilo, break down what is happening. This is some news that's just coming into us and what this means for the recently fired hundreds of Department of Immigration employees.
Yes, Vlad, to level set, the Department of Homeland Security over the weekend fired more than 400 employees, many of them at non-immigration related agencies such as the cybersecurity branch at DHS and FEMA, which of course, as you know, Vlad, oversees disaster response. But 50 of the cuts affected employees at U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. That is the federal agency that administers and oversees the legal immigration system. And these employees, Vlad, adjudicate applications for asylum, U.S. citizenship, green cards or permanent residency here in the U.S., work permits and other immigration benefits. Again, legal immigration benefits. Importantly, the two DHS agencies overseeing President Trump's dramatic crackdown on illegal immigration, Customs and Border Protection, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, have been spared so far in these mass firings. We'll see if that changes, but that obviously signals that these agencies are really important for the president's immigration plans, mainly that mass deportation operation. Of course, we should know that more than a dozen immigration judges at the Justice Department have also been filed, despite the fact, as you noted, Vlad, that 4 million pending cases right now are being overseen by the immigration court. So these more than a dozen judges have been fired, and there is still a mounting case backlog of millions of people who are waiting to get a decision on their asylum requests or other ways to stop their deportation.
And what are we learning about those migrant detentions at Guantanamo Bay? That's another controversial decision made by this administration. That's
right. A couple weeks ago, Vlad, as you know, President Trump ordered officials to dramatically expand migrant holding capacity at Guantanamo Bay, the naval base there. And so far, we understand, according to U.S. officials, that the Trump administration has sent a dozen military aircraft to Cuba, to that base, to send 150 migrant detainees, all men from Venezuela. We understand that despite what the administration has been saying about many of these migrant detainees being the worst of the worst and gang members and other serious criminals, that some of the detainees being transferred to Cuba, Vlad, are nonviolent, low-risk detainees. What does that mean? Well, these are migrants who are in the country illegally, Vlad, but they lack any serious criminal record or any at all and are just waiting deportation to Venezuela, which, as you know, right now is not accepting U.S. deportation. So it remains very much unclear how long these detainees will remain in Cuba.
Camilo, before you go really quickly, and you may not know this off the top of your head, I'm just curious, how many, the rate at which the Trump administration is deporting undocumented migrants and immigrants out of the country, what is that versus what the Biden administration had been doing up until the inauguration? I'm just curious if it's greater because the President Trump argued the reason that he should be elected is that he would increase those deportations. But I wonder where they are vis-a-vis the last administration.
Sure. So we have to make a distinction between what is happening at the U.S.-Mexico border and in the interior of the country. Because of the very low levels of illegal crossings now at the U.S.-Mexico border, the Trump administration, Vlad, is actually deporting fewer people than the Biden administration at the U.S.-Mexico border. But in the interior, ICE has been ramping up arrests dramatically of unauthorized immigrants, again, saying that they're targeting criminals, but also now they can pick up anyone who is in the country illegally. And so interior arrests and deportations are up, but removals and deportations at the border are down, mainly, again, Vlad, because migration at the border has dropped significantly.
All right, Camilo, really important information. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vlad.